Hello walkers, and welcome back to City Walks, where we travel around, explore, discover new places, kind of bumble around and notice all the beautiful things in different places. Today, well, my name is Henry. I will be your proxy walker today, your virtual travel guide. There's a little hint to where we are, just peeking over there. As I said, this is not a quite guided tour. I'm not an expert in these places. I like to discover as I go and find little nooks and crannies and little details that the websites might miss. I do a little bit of research, a little reading typically on Wikipedia beforehand. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. I think you can tell where we are now. We are starting at Laclede's Landing. This is Morgan and North 2nd, the old historic riverfront here in St. Louis, Missouri. It is about 8:30 a.m. and 44 degrees Fahrenheit, 7 degrees Celsius. Here, see Morgan Brewery. Highways right here in the center of town. But you can see we're walking over towards the Gateway Arch, right over there. I think you can see it. But I love these old buildings here, these sort of 19th century brick buildings, cobblestone streets. I just get kind of a thrill out of it. What else? Yeah, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Like, comment. Love getting your comments, guys. Love interacting with you. Love the knowledge that you can add when I miss something, and I love just hearing about your own stories and your own memories of these places and all the little things you can add to the conversation. So please comment. Thank you to our Patreon supporters as well. I'm on a big road trip from Montana over to the southeast with my oldest son, doing city walks and finding state high points along the way. Excuse me, got the morning crud there. So thanks for joining us this morning. Very cool. Look at the sun. We've had just great weather on this trip so far. I'm loving it. It's early morning light. We've had some great evening light in some of the places. You can kind of get a sense of context here where the arch is in relation to the sort of the center of mass of the downtown area. Off to the right, you can just sort of see a corner there, is the indoor arena. I think they have an XFL team, used to have an NFL team, one of the many homes of the Rams. But we're gonna duck down to the river real quick. Could have parked right there. Anyway, glad I didn't. Parking can be a little tricky down here. Where we had parked when we visited 3 years ago was closed. A bunch of stuff fenced off. But we found a place. It's not busy this time of year, which is, I think we're the last day of November. At the end of November, certainly. I think, what is it? Anyway, doesn't really matter. It is quite pleasant out this morning. And so my plan is to come down here by the river, go over by the arch, through the Archway Park, and then down into downtown. Look at that. I've seen several people going to work this morning. I love cities in the morning, seeing them wake up, come alive. Kind of different smells. This smells a little, well, it smells like riverfront and garbage. I think there's some bars down here and got a whiff of maybe some dumpsters in the back. Looks like they're constructing a garden down here. Let's stop here. This is blindingly bright. This is First and Lucas, and we are walking down Lucas, and we're going to continue down Lucas. to the river. This is the Mississippi River. Old Man River. And not far from here, I think upstream, is where the Missouri comes in. Some old cobblestones. Those look like actual stones too, not just bricks. All right, so we're down here in the area called Laclede's Landing. I'll show you a sign here. That might give you a little bit better idea. Old St. Louis. Cool old bridge here. We're gonna cross over and go down to see the river. Interesting that they have a riverfront here. I think it looked like I thought it was a beach at first, but I believe the river boats, the old paddle wheelers, would sort of butt up against here and they'd be tied up. So that way, no matter what the level of the river, they could still tie in. There's a lot of water there, folks. A pretty picture of the river there. Of course, looking over into Illinois. State of kind of an elevated railway here. I don't think that's a commuter line. I believe it's freight. That's a commuter line up there, so maybe I'm wrong. Double-decker bridge. What the heck? What the heck? Look at the light here. Oh, I love it. I was speaking over a boat horn earlier. I don't think that's a gull. I think that's a falcon, maybe. A couple of them getting fussy. They are falcons. Must be out hunting pigeons. That's cool. I'm gonna turn and you can see somebody out there in a little boat and then a freight barge going upriver. That's really cool. Oh, maybe it's the gull. There's a gull on this big wall. And somebody's very unhappy, either about the possible predation, or maybe it's the falcons that are upset. Wow, this is just beautiful. And I like that they have this bike lane here. It's all closed off to traffic. I think in the tourist season you can do paddle wheeler tours or paddle wheel facsimile tours. No, it's definitely the falcons fussing about. Ooh. They're dive bombing somebody. I wonder if somebody's getting near their nest. It's pretty late. Pretty late to be nesting. Pretty sure that's what they are. Okay, so St. Louis, for those of you who might not know, founded in 1764. Of course, there were native peoples as a center for Mississippi Valley and Mississippian Native Peoples and Cultures Center for Trade back then. Then, of course, the Europeans came, and it was a kicking off point out west for trappers looking for beaver. And also shipping other goods in and out of the West. I forget the details in the arch. I think it was built in the 60s. Just recently became a national park. In fact, I think it may have been just the last couple of years. We went up there in 2018. You can take these little pods, elevator pods. They're like little cylinders you get in. It's a little claustrophobic. And you go up, you can maybe see some of the windows up at the very top. And you can even look straight down. It's kind of pricey to go up there, but it's worth it. It's pretty cool, I would say. We've got some Lewis and Clark came through here on their expedition out west in the 1800s, early 1800s, I want to say 1804. Could be wrong on that. And that looks like maybe them. Their dog, Seaman. Seaman. Lest you get the wrong idea. Whew, that's a bright, bright sun. And I believe they took the captain's return in 1806. That's when they came back through here, I guess. I think it's William Clark and Meriwether Lewis, sent out by Jefferson, and it's has been a center of shipping ever since. Population of the city proper on this side of the river, there is an East St. Louis, is 301,000 people. However, in the metropolitan area, it's 2.8 million. So the city itself, not particularly huge, but the metro area is quite large. I think it's like the 20th largest in the United States, according to my son's reading of Wikipedia. And we're, I think, entering Gateway Arch National Park now. And I gotta take a couple pictures. This is going to be fun because it's going to give us kind of a sense of scale as we walk. And we'll walk underneath the center of it. The Gateway Arch National Park is kind of it's pretty small, but they've done a pretty good job, I think. A lot of ramps and walkways. We'll see more as we go. The visitor center is down underground. It's pretty cool too, if I recall correctly. I remember it being, warms up here, you know, super new and modern. There's a creaking noise coming from this barge down here, the walkways out to it. That's a helicopter tour landing platform. Of course, the Missouri River comes right up and starts at Three Forks, Montana. It's not navigable that far up, but here we go. Like these steps. Glad I didn't climb those. Right here. And then you got some worker doing something out there, or maybe somebody taking a picture. Look at that. I should have looked up a little better, more details on the actual arch. Oh, look at that. It just climbed out of the ground. So, and I think on either side of the base here is the exit from the visitor center, which is pretty cool. You wouldn't know it was even there. So we look back into the downtown area. We'll get back up there in a little bit. Yeah, if I recall correctly, you can see the park itself extends out on either side of the arch, which is pretty cool. Some nice trees. But I think you enter through the, I'll show you the entrance here in a little bit. But these areas are exit only. I don't know if it's open today. Kind of crazy. We'll go over here real quick. I'll show you. We'll touch it. Show you how big this is. It's probably 30 or 40 feet, and it's sort of an inverted triangle. It's basically stainless steel. People have scraped at it, and you can see the welds there. Sure, I'm pretty sure that's just a sheeting with iron or steel framework inside. Kind of an engineering marvel, really. Almost get dizzy looking up there. I don't know a whole lot about St. Louis, the city, other than what I've already told you. I was here in the early 2000s for work. I was doing some software, working for a software company. We had a client out here and flew out for like a week, business week. I was looking back on a long time ago now. My son, who's into high points and maps and stuff, is going to find there's a high point in the national park here. I think it might be this little ridge, maybe off to the right. Oh, there's a pond. Cool. Must be another one. I think there's another one on the other side as well. That's pretty. I'd say it was peaceful, but they've run interstate through here, at least major traffic roads. That's a pretty sight as well. You can see the shadow of the arch on that building, which is a Hyatt hotel. Lots of hotels down here, obviously, as you would expect. And it goes over that gray building. I believe this domed building, I'm not sure what it used to be, but now it's a museum. Old courthouse. I believe it's a museum. It's a pretty building. It's no longer closed. Ooh. Former slave Dred Scott sued for freedom in this courthouse. That's a famous case. Some folks out walking their dogs. So this is the entrance. I'll go around and show you. Well, I'll walk in the shadow so we're not blinded by the sun here. And looks like it may not. Well, looks like it might be open. I don't know what the hours are. We might pop in there later, not on this video, but just with my son. First, we're going to cross over this massive. We'll take another view once we get down here, but we're going to cross over this massive street. Maybe get away from some of this traffic sound. Maybe not. Maybe that's just the sounds of a busy city. Let me know if you guys have been into the Arch. I'll try and post some Wikipedia links to get some of the detailed information. Like they're doing some landscaping over here. That's interesting. Dred Scott Street or Avenue maybe runs right in front of the courthouse. That's good. I wonder if it's part of the park. It's got a Gateway Arch National Park sign on it, which is good. Love that we're preserving those kinds of histories. I see my son, he's walking around on his own this morning. I worry a little bit about him in these big cities. Growing up in Montana, we're kind of country mice. I'm gonna walk over here, that looks like. Okay, Dred Scott Way, but I think it becomes something else. There's another view of the arch there, looking east. And I think we're gonna go this way, over towards Chestnut Street. Just because there looks like some interesting buildings over there. And then we'll make our way around to different parts of the city and explore a little bit. Kind of wishing I hadn't worn this jacket. I guess I'm gonna have to cross. I don't know if they're redoing this building on the left or building it up from scratch. Surely it's been around for a while. There's the Hilton off to the left, but I like this old something trust, but Mississippi Valley Trust Company building. A lot of construction going on down here. Hoping I don't get run over. That's Pine Street. I think we're on 4th. I know I called it Dred Scott Way, but pretty sure it's 4th. This kind of, I know I've received comments in the past when I was using the GoPro from people that were like, they didn't like the wide, the distortion of the lens, which comes with a angled lens. It's about a 12 millimeter equivalent. But those wide lenses allow you to capture this really tight, narrow, the confines of the city like this. All this traffic is natural for cities, definitely busier than some of the other cities I've visited on this tour. Well, hold on, I just want to show you that narrow canyon of concrete. Anyway, it's been in a couple other cities, and they were busy, but not like this, not hopping like this. Maybe we didn't catch them at the right time. It is right about the time people go to work. Mansion house apartments over here. But one of the things that coming out when it's not built is you can do stuff like this, walk out and get a better angle on these buildings without worrying too much about getting run over. Some of the other cities in the Plain States have these really ornate buildings with very cool street level structures. This looks like a Federal Reserve Bank. I knew it. Hopefully I don't get on some FBI watch list for filming around the Federal Reserve Bank. This is the security building, but we'll get a better look at this. I love the detail of the stonework of these old buildings, the brick patterns, all that kind of stuff that newer buildings often lack. This downtown area seems to have some of those. The ironwork here, just the imposing weight of this building structure. It's interesting. It like just screams solidity and security, conservatism. Just intransigence. Those aren't right. Those all have some connotations that I don't intend, but just like dependability, right? You could put your money in there and it'd be all good. Nobody's breaking into that thing, no matter what Hollywood says. We're coming up on Broadway. I guess Locust was a pedestrian way. There's the arena over there. Excuse me. I guess I'll cross over here against the light. That's all right. And we'll sort of serpentine our way around down here, kind of discovering different places. That's a neat building too. Each one of those windows has fairly ornate stonework, even after the first 3 stories, 2 or 3 stories, which is also ornate and unique. But, I mean, an expense that the building next to it has avoided, right? And that's sort of, I don't know if you've heard of Bruges, Belgium. Really cool old city preserve, and lacks most of the modern buildings and stuff that comes with economic success, because there was a major port, and then their port silted in, and they just sort of stagnated, which sucks for them. This is an exception. This modern building has created, this is Olive Street, some interesting street level design into it, which is cool. This has not, nor has that. But I'm kind of digging the reflection of the old courthouse in that glass edifice beyond. I guess the point being that, you know, when some of these cities stagnate, wow, look at that atrium. There, massive tree. You know, we benefit, this is Metropolitan Square, we benefit 100 years later in that those buildings were never replaced with modern structures. That's not always good. I like some of these modern buildings. I think some of them are pretty cool. But I really enjoy seeing the neatness of those older buildings. We're going to get into some street work here, and I kind of want to have a look at, I don't know if you can see the reflection kind of lower right in that building of the dome. That's pretty cool. I'm going to go straight past here before I make my right, excuse me. I am actually looking before I cross the street. Coming back up to Chestnut. That's really cool. Now, another cool thing is they've got this kind of greenway sticking out. Here. It goes for a couple blocks, so we'll walk down that a little bit. Looks like they're setting up something for something called Winterfest. I looked at Google Earth to try and get an idea where I should walk, and I saw all these, this sort of checkerboard pattern, but I couldn't quite make up what was going on. I think I might have just seen a cardinal. I haven't seen one of those in a while. That's an eastern bird. At least east of the Rockies. Maybe it was just the light on a sparrow or something. Oh, no, there is. So it's a red little bird, left side of the trunk of this tree. Oh, here it goes, just topped up. Cute, pretty little male cardinal. Got a red crest and beak. I love this kind of thing. I saw this a lot in Europe. I think it's become more popular here with the pandemic because you can enclose people, get them out of the wind and cold, still have people, you know, eat outside and be a little isolated. We've got a ice rink. Sorry, I couldn't come up with the word. Ice rink right up here. Little playground off to the left. Should have mentioned early on that I get kind of distracted and jump around a lot as I talk and walk and notice things. Like this awesome building over here. Kind of like the juxtaposition as well of modern and old. So I'm actually going to point out something real quick. Maybe I'll get this again. So just down this way, you can see kind of maybe to the right of that tall building, some light structures. That's a stadium. I think that's the baseball stadium for the St. Louis Cardinals. Oh, look at that. Very appropriate. Ding, ding, ding. Oh, that's like I was saying, I get distracted. Look at that. That's a pretty cool image, right? Courthouse below the gateway arch there. It's going to be 7th and Chestnut where we're coming up to. This might be a longer walk, guys. Longer than I expected. That's good. Cute little Frenchie. And looks like a Chesapeake Bay Retriever almost. They're also apparently building a 22,000 seat stadium just to the west of downtown. Look at that. In which they're gonna be the home field of a new Major League Soccer team that they have, I don't know, purchased or something. I don't know how that works. I should cross over. Down another block, I think. Guard was a little heavy on the gas there. Okay, off to the left is the Hotel St. Louis. It's just getting kissed by the light there. I'm not sure what this building on the right is. but I like it. Love the ornate stonework, that sort of thing. Looks like it might be getting worked on. The sky bridge could use some work, I think. Some de-graffitiing, maybe even, dare I say, removal. I don't know if you can tell, but I don't know, just cool. I like it. We're on Olive again. See, they got the nutcrackers out at the Hotel St. Louis. It's like this is an old, maybe an old condo building. Oh man, I'm going over there. That's awesome. Obviously it's being worked on, needs work. But look at the I guess it's steel, ironwork on the cornices there. Very cool. Hopefully they're gonna redo that. That would be a good addition. If I were in St. Louis, I'd live there. I mean, I'm gonna go up to see it. Looks like it's painted iron, painted metal. But yeah, very cool. Oof, look at this. This looks like something out of Vienna or Budapest. Oops. That dome. It's got to be a theater of some sort. Right. I guess we'll go this way. Back to that park. This is the Arcade Apartments over to the right. I think this simpler building, but still pretty. You know, contrast the street level view there, and now obviously this has been boarded up for whatever purpose, but it's still simple plain glass and steel or aluminum. Coming up on 8th and Pine here. Some people like to follow along, so I try to call those out. I want to go down that way though. I can't, sorry, not today. That's the downside, one of the downsides of a cashless society. A lot of upsides, but go back to the park for a spiritual break. Oh man, those folks have a flat tire downtown. It's not fun. See a little public artwork here. Next to a coffee shop, that's fun. Oops. A water feature. Something about water that makes It's kind of relaxing. Pool closed. Okay. All right. Giant head over here. I hope that's an art museum over there. Super modern building. Kind of behind the sun there. I think we are gonna. Oh, let's go walk by the water feature here. It says pool closed, so maybe this is a wading pool in the summer. It's probably pretty nice. I don't want to go down that way, but also want to cross over and see ourselves. Maybe I missed it. Playing some Christmas music. Looks like that's the courthouse, I think, straight ahead. It's a really nice park right here in the middle of downtown. Extremely loud. I was kind of hoping to sit down here and have a Zoom meeting later, but so it goes. Like these rabbits. These are fun. It's like AT&T building. There's some more to the west here, but I'm gonna duck down to the north for a moment. Some more old buildings down here I want to check out. Sorry for the wind. That just kind of kicked up. It's kind of a cool view. You don't get this open space here from like this parking lot. Look how tight and compact everything is right down there. It's interesting, the pattern of modern and old. Kind of wonder what drives that. Is it random? Is there any kind of predictability to it? Consistency across cities? Probably not. Probably just random. Paxton little theater down there. It is.
They don't.
I'm not calling out the streets here for you. That's Olive again. Crossed. Little trees. I think that's kind of one of the downsides of having things, many downsides of having things so compact, as you don't have as much space for trees. And that's such a, I've said this a lot, but about how valuable those are to making a city beautiful. Peek up here, there's a gallery of some sort on our right. Again, I don't really know what street we're on, but no signs. That's okay. I'm gonna head back this way. Check out some of these old buildings. Pretty amazing to think that, you know, these were built probably early 1900s, late 1800s. And they're probably 12 stories tall. Looking for a cornerstone date. We're seeing them. Orpheum. So I've seen this Orpheum theaters tucked down here in several different cities now, and I guess we read up on it, and it was basically a theater chain that started in the 1800s, 1880s through 1920s. A crossover. I just want to go down and check it out. There's this little park. It's just pretty. I don't know if they're still doing shows there or not. We're gonna retreat a little bit. Morning. See this big thing, which I think is another theater. Not quite sure. Probably look it up on my Google phone. Doesn't say. Oh, that's the public library. That's what that says. But the other side, I think, is something else. Gosh, look at that. And that's even taller than 12. That's probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 is my estimate. It's hard to keep track of the different numbers there. 8th and Locust. Guess this is the old post office. A bunch of other stuff. Some pigeons flocking around in the sky. We've been listening to this book called it's The River of Doubt. It's about the Roosevelt Rondon expedition in the Amazon in 1913, 1914. And they're talking about the cloud forest, and it kind of reminds me, there's a whole different, I'll tilt you up, there's a whole different world up there. If humans were to disappear, you kind of wonder what would happen. I think they've made a couple TV shows about that. Been there. Let's go to these places. All right, let's go down this way a couple blocks. Love the light. I hope the camera's doing it justice. Keep an eye on my time here. Morning. I'm like a country mouse here with all these buildings, just sort of gawking and staring and tilting my head up all the time. Oh. Ooh, microgrid energy over here. Thanks. Remember to actually wear my readers today, so I look like, well, like a 48-year-old man trying to read his camera. Hi there. All right, so we'll go down here and make a right, I think. So, this is this big building over here. I just want to call it out. It's the Railway Exchange Building, apparently. And I'll just tilt you up so you can see it. Beautiful building, beautiful stonework. I guess the economics of that sort of thing just doesn't work out anymore. Coming up on 6th Street. Make a right. Nope, we're gonna go straight. That's what we're gonna do. One more block. Peek down there towards the arena. There she is. Down 6th. It's the street signs, or lack of street signs right here, are amusing to me. Headed down towards Broadway, though. I know that. So this building catching the sun here, there's a sign saying for sale for condos. That'd be a pretty sweet place to have a condo. I mean, I guess, you know, it's a beautiful building, love to live there, and then you got to think about the bigger context of, would you want to live in St. Louis? And I think a lot of people would, obviously, a lot of people do. We like to have mountains around us. This is Broadway and Olive. How do I get back here? All right, so we're gonna head back to the courthouse here. And I'm sort of, as we travel around, you think, oh, could I live here? And mostly it's, yeah, I could live here for a month or so, which is how we like to travel. But full time, in most places, probably not. I mean, we love Montana, we love Livingston. It's hard going there sometimes, hard making a living. And certainly around about March, February, late March, early April, the snowbird in us starts to raise its head. And it's expensive. It's gotten a lot more expensive there, but we love the mountains. We love the rivers. We love just having open spaces. Oh, geez, I did it again. Right by the road construction, but that's okay. Pardon the sniffles. Chestnut and Broadway. Cross over here again. I know it's unreasonable to expect any semblance of quiet in a city, a busy, active city. But I think I've been spoiled the last little bit. All right, guys, from Gateway Archway National Park in St. Louis, Missouri, I want to thank you for joining me. We're going to tuck around here and see the arch again, but comment if you haven't commented. I love hearing from you. Please subscribe if you haven't done so. It helps me out a lot. Google tells Google that you guys like the channel. Also lets it come up, these videos come up in your feed. I do release videos. Try to do it twice a week. Sometimes on holidays, if it falls on if the holiday falls on a Monday or Thursday, I might skip. But otherwise, there's a Hilton over here coming up on Market Street. Come over here. So thanks for joining me. We're going to be doing some more walks. I'm not sure where. I've had to sort of adjust my schedule because I didn't account for losing so much daylight as we continued east. Obviously it's winter, so the days are shorter anyway. But I didn't really factor in that 400 or 500 miles making as much difference as it does. But that's fine. Ooh, the International Fur Exchange Drury Plaza Hotel. That's definitely a nice location. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll see you again soon. Until then, keep on stepping.